हाँ यार मैं कह दिया लेकिन मुझसे पर
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين أبي القاسم محمد وآله أهل الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, we will start our program tonight with the recitation of Hadith Kisa. Tonight, as you know, we are commemorating Yaum-e-Gham, or better known as Inhidam-e Jannatul Baqi, the destruction of the shrines located in the graveyard of Baqi in Madinatul Munawwarah. And inshallah, we will start our program with the recitation of Hadith Kisa. For that, I would like to request Brother Ghulam Haidar to go ahead and recite. Seems that Brother Ghulam Haidar is not online, so I will go ahead and start with Hadith Kisa. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عن جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري عن فاطمة الزهراء سلام الله عليها بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله أنها قالت دخل علي أبي رسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة فقلت عليك السلام قال إني أجد في بدني ضعفا فقلت له أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف فقال يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أمه فقلت عليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي فقال يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جد السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله تأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي قد أذنت لك فدخل معه تحت الكساء اللهم صل على محمد فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أماه فقلت عليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي فقال لي يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله فقلت نعم إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي قد أذنت لك فدخل معهما تحت الكساء اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد فقال أبو الحسن فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله، فقلت عليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت نعم، ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فاقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وسيي وخليفتي وصاحب لوائي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بضعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآله. فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ بي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا هرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم، فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك وعلي وعليهم وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. وقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا رب ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. اللهم صل على محمد. فقال جبرائيل يا رب أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض ليكون معهم سادسة؟ فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله. العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. فقال علي لعبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا، ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبين وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله همه ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وفزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Thank you very much for joining us. Inshallah, we will start our program with the Majlis, inshallah, for the commemoration of Inhidam Jannatul Baqi. And after that, inshallah, we will have ziyarat. But I would like to also, recognize tonight's sponsors, the families of Marhuma Lotika Hussain, who are commemorating her Jihlum Majlis as well tonight, along with this Majlis commemorating Yaum-e-Gham in Hidam Jannatul Baqi. Please recite a Surah Fatiha for the Marhuma Lotika Hussain, as well as all of your Marhumin. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. At this point, I will request Salman Jafri to go ahead and conduct the program.
Thank you, Maulana. Assalamu alaikum, everybody, to all the viewers. As Maulana just said, that today is the Majlis to commemorate the destruction of the holy shrines at Jannatul Baqi, Medina Munawwara. تو اس کے سلسلے میں آپ کے سامنے میں بس سلام کے چند شعر پیش کروں گا اور ایک مرثیہ. جیسے آپ کو پتہ ہے, there's many انبیاء from what I understand in Jannatul Baqi, بخاص طور پہ ہمارے امام حسن, امام زین العابدین علیہ السلام, امام باقر, امام جعفر صادق اور ہماری بی بی فاطمہ سلام اللہ علیہ. تو بی بی فاطمہ کے شان میں میں آپ کے لیے سلام کے چند شعر پیش خدمت ہیں اور پھر مرثیہ کے شعر. تو ایک بار صلوات پڑھی علی محمد و آل محمد.
اللہم صل علی
محمد و آل محمد. ایک علی کا تذکرہ سارے چمن کا تذکرہ, ایک علی کا تذکرہ سارے چمن کا تذکرہ, اور فاطمہ کا تذکرہ ہے پنجتن کا تذکرہ, ایک علی کا تذکرہ سارے چمن کا تذکرہ, اور حل عطا سے فاطمہ زہرا یہ ثابت ہو گیا, حل عطا سے فاطمہ زہرا یہ ثابت ہو گیا, اور عرش پر بھی ہے تیرے گھر کے چلن کا تذکرہ, ایک علی کا تذکرہ سارے چمن کا تذکرہ, وہ شہ پرے جبریل کو اب بھی فرشتے دیکھ کر, شہ پرے جبریل کو اب بھی فرشتے دیکھ کر ڈرتے ڈرتے کرتے ہیں خیبر شکن کا تذکرہ ڈرتے ڈرتے کرتے ہیں خیبر شکن کا تذکرہ ایک علی کا تذکرہ سارے چمن کا تذکرہ اور ابتدا شبیر جس کی اور زینب انتہا ابتدا شبیر جس کی اور زینب انتہا کربلا در اصل ہے بھائی بہن کا تذکرہ ایک علی کا تذکرہ سارے چمن کا تذکرہ اور فاطمہ کا تذکرہ ہے پنجتن کا تذکرہ ایک علی کا تذکرہ بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات
اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد.
مرثیہ کے چند شعر بی بی فاطمہ السلام اللہ علیہ کے شان میں. ایک سورہ فاتحہ. ایک اور سورہ فاتحہ کی درخواست ہے مرحوم لطیقہ حسین وائف آف لیٹ سید باقر حسین. تو ایک سورہ فاتحہ ان کے لیے اور ہمارے سارے مرحومین و مرحومات کے لیے ایک اور سورہ فاتحہ. بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
صلی علی محمد وآل محمد.
بابا کو روتے روتے جو زہرا گزر گئے بابا کو روتے روتے جو زہرا گزر گئے غل پڑ گیا کہ بنتے نبی کوچ کر گئے اور فاقوں کے رنج سے کہ حضور پدر گئی محبوب کبریا کی عزادار مر گئی محبوب کبریا کے عزادار مر گئی اور 18ویں برس نے یہ آفت دکھائی ہے آل نبی کو چرخ نے لوٹا دہائی ہے آل نبی کو چرخ نے لوٹا دہائی ہے اور سبتین گھر میں آئے جو بے تاب و بے قرار آسمان سے پوچھنے لگے اماں کا حال زار وہ بولی نیند آ گئی ہے شکر کردگار کھانا تو جلد کھا لو کہ بھوکے ہو میں نثار کھانا تو جلد کھا لو کہ بھوکے ہو میں نثار اور بولے کہ چین دے گا زمانہ تو کھائیں گے اماں ہمیں کھلائیں گی کھانا تو کھائیں گے اماں ہمیں کھلائیں گے کھانا تو کھائیں گے اور یہ سن کے بے قرار ہوئی وہ جگر فگار چادر زمین پہ پھینک کے چلائی بار بار بچے ہیں ان کو صبر دے اے میرے اب وہ کھلانے والے کہاں تم پہ میں نثار، اور پیارو تمہاری پالنے والی گزر گئی، کھاؤ گے کس کے ہاتھ سے اماں تو مر گئی، کھاؤ گے کس کے ہاتھ سے اماں تو مر گئی۔ اور پھر تو علی کے گھر میں قیامت بپا ہوئی، تازہ بلا میں آل نبی مبتلا ہوئی، ماتم پہ ماتم اور عزا پر عزا ہوئی، غل تھا رسول پاک پہ زہرا فدا ہوئی، غل تھا رسول پاک پہ کہ زہرا فدا ہوئی، اور سب رو رہے تھے بنت رسول قدیر کو، بچوں کو ہوش تھا نہ جناب امیر کو، بچوں کو ہوش تھا نہ جناب امیر کو، شیر خدا تھے مضطر و مغموم ایک طرف، سر پیٹتی تھی زینب و کلثوم ایک طرف، پکڑے تھے دل کو سید مسموم ایک طرف، بسمل تھے خاک پر شہ مظلوم ایک طرف، بسمل تھے خاک پر شہ مظلوم ایک طرف، اور حیدر قریب آئے تو ایک خط نظر پڑا، تڑپے کچھ اس طرح کے امامہ اتر پڑا، تڑپے کچھ اس طرح کے امامہ اتر پڑا، اور لکھا تھا یہ کہ آخری مجرا قبول ہو، یا شاہ تم وسیع جناب رسول ہو، صدقہ حضور کا میرا مقصد حصول ہو، منہ سے نہ کہہ سکی حزین و ملول ہو، منہ سے نہ کہہ سکی کہ حسین و ملول ہو، اور میری وصیتیں نہ فراموش کیجیو، اول یہ ہے کہ آپ مجھے غسل دیجیو، اول یہ ہے کہ آپ مجھے غسل دیجیو، اور دوم یہ ہے کہ شب کو جنازہ اٹھائیو، مردے کا سایہ بھی نہ کسی کو دکھائیو، یہاں تک کہ قبر بھی نہ کسی کو بتائیو، کتنی جگہ نشان لحد کا بنائیو، کتنی جگہ نشان لحد کا بنائیو، تو سویم یہ ہے کہ پاس یتیموں کا کیجیو، شفقت سے بولیو کبھی گھڑکی نہ دیجیو، شفقت سے بولیو کبھی گھڑکی نہ دیجیو، اور حسب وصیت آپ غسل و کفن دیا، ناگاہ بارگاہ میں یہ شور غل ہوا، رخصت کرو کہ جاتی ہے احمد کی دل ربا، سبتین نے لپٹ کے کہا وا مصیبتا، سبتین نے لپٹ کے کہا وا مصیبتا، اور کس بات پر غریبوں سے منہ موڑ کر چلی، کیوں اماں جان کس پہ ہمیں چھوڑ کر چلی، کیوں اماں جان کیسے پدر چھوڑ کر چلی، اور نانا کا ذکر رو کے پھر ایک بار کرتی جاؤ، ماتم رسول کا بدل زار کرتی جاؤ، پھر تازہ یاد سید ابرار کرتی جاؤ، چھاتی سے پھر لگا کے ہمیں پیار کرتی جاؤ، छाती से फिर लगा के हमें प्यार करती जाओ। और ये सुनते ही दिखा दिए रुतबे रसूल के, निकले कफन से हाथ जनाबे बतूल के, निकले कफन से हाथ जनाबे बतूल के। और बच्चों से यूं लिपट गई अहमद की दिलरुबा, जैसे बहन से लाशाए मजलूम करबला। नागा निदा ये आई के ऐ शाह लाफता, हश्र आएगा छुड़ाओ इन्हें बहर किबरिया, हश्र आएगा छुड़ाओ इन्हें बहर किबरिया। और बच्चों से अपने बिनते पैगंबर जुदा हुए, पर ज़ैनब अपने भाई से क्यों कर जुदा हुए, पर ज़ैनब अपनी भाई से क्यों कर जुदा हुए। बाबा को रोते रोते। पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Jazakallah.
I would now like to request our very own Maulana Rizwan Rizvi to recite the lecture of the Majlis for tonight. Please welcome him with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil faraj.
Thank you very much. Beautiful recitation as always. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Before I begin, I would like to recognize tonight's sponsors for this Majlis, Brother Fardeen Abdi and his family, who are also requesting Surah Fatiha for their mother, Marhuma Lutika Hussain, wife of late Sayyid Baqir Hussain. And they're commemorating her Chilum Majlis tonight as well. And so therefore, please recite Surah Fatiha for the departed soul. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين بالقاسم محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى وقوله الحق وهو أصدق القائلين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقال لهم نبيهم إن آية ملكه أن يأتيكم التابوت فيه سكينة من ربكم وبقية مما ترك آل موسى وآل هارون تحمله الملائكة إن في ذلك لآية لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you for joining us on this 8th day of the month of Shawwal, in which we commemorate the destruction of the holy shrines of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam, as well as the other family members of the Holy Prophet and the great companions of the Holy Prophet that were buried in that graveyard in Madinatul Munawwara known as Jannatul Baqi. It is on this day in the year 1345, approximately almost 100 years ago, and on April 21st in 1925, when the mausoleums in Jannatul Baqi in Medina were demolished by King Ibn Saud. And the same year in 1925, he also demolished the tombs of the holy personages at Jannatul Mu'alla, which is in Makkatul Mukarramah, where the Holy Prophet's mother, Bibi Amina, Prophet's wife, Hazrat Khadija Salamullahi alayha, and his grandfather, and amongst other ancestors, are buried in Jannatul Mu'alla in Makkatul Mukarramah. Destruction of the sacred sites in Hijaz by the Saudi Wahhabi continues even today in the name of Tawheed. In their belief, it is against the monotheistic belief of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to erect any type of tomb or any type of grave, or to be present at the grave. They utilize an ayat from Quran in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا تقم على قبره ولا تصلي عليهم من مات أبدا, that do not stand on their grave and do not pray for them, and do not pray over there and do not pray for them, those who passed away. Who are these people that Allah is referring to? If you refer to the entire ayat, it says, الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, those who disbelieved in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they disbelieved in the Holy Prophet. These are the people the Quran is mentioning that do not stand on their grave and do not pray for them, because they left this world in disbelief. But if you look at this ayat of Quran from the implied meaning which is found in it, that you find that if you were to replace the word kafaru with those who are amanu, those who had brought iman, then there wouldn't be any problem in standing on their grave or in order to go ahead and pray for them. And that is something which is found in the tradition of the Holy Prophet. It is something which is there in the seerat of the Holy Prophet, that how the Holy Prophet used to visit the graveyards. He used to visit and he buried all of his family members that he was alive for, that he buried them and he paid visit to the graveyard. In fact, there are so many traditions that are narrated from the Holy Prophet in which he highlights the importance of visiting the graveyard, because it is a matter of bringing you out of heedlessness. It is a matter for you to come out of being heedless as far as your duties toward this world and the hereafter is concerned. So therefore we find this is a bogus claim by this Wahhabi mentality, well, in the name of bid'at, that they have concocted to go ahead and label anything which goes against their beliefs, which were settled or given to them from the teachings of Ibn Taymiyyah, that all of these things are labeled and brushed under the title of bid'at, and therefore they're made forbidden. Well, that is not the case. That is a misunderstanding. And you say, well, how is it possible for them to not understand such a simple thing? Well, Quran is talking about it. Ahadith are filled with it. This is where you see khatamallahu ala qulubihim wa ala sam'ihim, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stamped upon their heart. Khatama means there's a stamp of that they've been there, that they cannot see anymore, that it is done for already. Their hearts have been sealed and their eyes have been sealed, and they do not see the reality, and therefore they'll continue to do whatever they believe in, their belief is in, and they'll continue to impose that belief onto the entire Muslim ummah, because they control these sacred sites. And that's the unfortunate part, that they have claimed to be Khadime Harmain Sharifain, and they'll do anything that they can in order to continue their rule over it. While this was the case back in 1925, there must have been a big uproar from the Muslim world at that time. But if it was big enough, then this would have stopped, and they would not have committed any other atrocities similar to that. But even if it stopped them temporarily, but they were able to do all of the damage that they caused, still they were able to leave the mentality by which we see in the form of ISIS, in the form of Al-Qaeda, in the form of Taliban, those who destroyed the holy sites of belonging to Ahlul Bayt, belonging to the prophets, these heritage that was the part of the rich Islamic history in the recent time was destroyed by the controlled area of ISIS in Iraq. Many of these places were completely razed to the ground. Similarly, you find that so many places were destroyed belonging to the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the present day Syria. So the mentality is still continuous. While we're at this and we are dedicating this entire day for this Yaum-e-Gham, this day in which we commemorate in Hidame, Jannatul Baqi, the destruction and the demolition of the graves of the holy personalities that you heard in the Marsiya as well. While that is the case, while we are on that issue, but we should not be neglectful of the issues that are current as well. This world is going through a pandemic. We know this, and alhamdulillah, to an extent, we have learned how to cope with it, right? It is not gone, and it will not be gone for any time soon, but we have learned to adapt, and we've learned to walk along with it as much as possible, keeping our health and keeping our well-being in check. And also at the same time, we should not be neglectful and heedless of what is happening in our country. This country is in serious trouble when it comes to the lives of the minorities. And I wanted to take very quickly a couple of minutes in highlighting this issue that I'm sure every one of us has seen, read, or heard from various outlets in reference to George Floyd, who was killed a few days ago in Minnesota, and where there's an uproar in the entire country, where there are a lot of protests are happening in the name of Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, all the minorities that exist in this country, all of whom are suffering definitely under the hand of these white supremacists, especially given them this license to go ahead and do whatever they want to with the current administration. So we see that we stand along with all of these minorities who are standing up for their rights, and we should not be standing back. Instead, we should be hand in hand with all of these people, because if it's their turn today and they are being targeted, then if we don't stand by them, then tomorrow, when the continuous process of Islamophobia that continues even till this day, if that happens and strikes us tomorrow, these people will not stand with us. So in order to show solidarity, in order to show that we are, and aside from the fact that they will or will not stand with us, that's not the point. The point is that you should stand up for any sort of injustice that is taking place, oppression that is happening, whether it is local or whether it is abroad. It is our duty, utmost duty as Muslims, to go ahead and condemn any type of atrocity and oppression. And therefore, who would be more appreciative of commemorating the Gham and commemorating injustice whenever it's happening anywhere in the world, than those who are the followers of Madhab-e Ahl Tashayyo, that those who are the followers of Ahl Tashayyo, those who are the followers of Maktab-e Ahl Bayt, because our history is filled where we have been target and victims of such calamity and atrocity and oppression. You take it from the beginning of the time, from the time of Imam Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, all of the events that took place in the event of Karbala, all of the atrocities that happened in that event, although the lives of other Masumeen were also affected later on and prior to that, but this event of Karbala really overshadowed everything else. We find that even the Imam of our time, 12th Imam, Imam Mahdi, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, that he's in Parda Ghaib, he is in this ghaibat, in this occultation, and inshallah one day he will return. But this is also a sad state for all of us to think that the fact that our Imam is unable to come right now because of the situation that exists around us, that it is not still favorable for Imam of our time to reappear, and that goes all upon us. So we see that we have the history of standing up and living and reviving the remembrance of those who gave their lives in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or if there was any injustice done anywhere, we would be the first ones to stand up, because we've learned that the hard way. You take the example of Karbala, then you take the event of Fakh, which took place in the time of, you know, our ninth Imam, or and then you take other events that have taken place in that past. And then in the recent history, you know, this 100 years ago, the demolition of Jannatul Baqi and the mausoleums, and then continuous Islamophobic, you know, rhetoric that exists here, as well as, you know, the calamities that Muslims are facing, whether it is through these, you know, violent groups, whether they are ISIS, Al Qaeda, or Taliban, or any other, you know, offshoots of these different groups that exist, who are causing havoc in the society, in the world, in the name of Islam. And their first targets are actually the followers of Maktabat Tashayyu. So we should definitely be able to make a statement, in a sense that we all stand with this individual who was killed in a very dramatic and you know, unprofessional way that this person, these law enforcement agencies handled. And this is an existing problem in this country, therefore it has to be addressed, and we're all together showing solidarity. Coming back to my topic, the ayat that I recited is from Surah Baqarah 248, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, their prophet said to them, indeed the sign of his kingship shall be that the ark will come to you, wherein shall be tranquility from your Lord, and the relics of what the family of Moses and the family of Harun have left behind. The angels will be bearing it, holding on to it, carrying it. Surely in it shall be a sign for you if you are truly faithful. I chose this ayah, and there are many such ayat in Quran which highlight this aspect of, you know, commemorating, you know, honoring the relics from the past. And these graves, you know, in a sense are sha'airullah for us. ذَلِكَ وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. That whoever honors the symbols of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indeed it is from the piety of their hearts. The remains and the relics of awliya are element of comfort for mu'mineen. These graves are an element of comfort for the followers and the believers in the mu'mineen. If they are destroyed and they're demolished, then definitely it will not keep that comfort anymore. It will break our heart. It'll be pain in our hearts. You know, one of my friends giving a lecture earlier on this topic gave a very beautiful example. He said that if a child, you know, loses his mother, and his mother is buried in this graveyard, and he's sitting at that graveyard, and first of all, he's deprived of visiting his mother at the graveyard. Secondly, the khutbah and the other things that were installed on this graveyard, they were destroyed in front of his eyes. Doesn't this child have the right to go ahead and complain? And doesn't this child have the right to go ahead and ask for justice as to, why did you destroy the grave of my mother? What did my mother do to you? That's the right of every individual. It does not need a religion to go ahead and tell him that this is your primary right. But while we see that, where's our mothers and our fathers, may they be sacrificed for those individuals who are buried in Jannatul Baqi, and their graves are destroyed. While Quran is saying that the remains and the relics of awliya, let alone anbiya, awsiya, and imams, that the respect that we have for them, the awliya of Allah are element of comfort for mu'mineen. When Talut became the leader of Israelites, in order to assure them about the kingship of Saul, you know, their prophet Samuel told them that the ark of Musa, you know, of the covenant and the tabut, with the sacred, you know, chest for the children of Israel will be returned to them as a sign of Saul to be selected as the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That these relics will be brought to you. And their prophet said to them, verily the sign of his kingship is that the ark of the covenant will come to you. So this will serve as what? A sign for you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this is the, appointed ruler by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what will happen in it? The tabut is the wooden chest, wherein the Moses' mother of Hazrat Musa والسلام, put her baby in it. Remember that story? Fil yamme. And by the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's set afloat in the water. And, then it arrived at the doorstep of Pharaoh. He took it in, brought in the baby. The chest remained safe in the court of Pharaoh. When Moses والسلام, was appointed to prophethood, he put the tablets of the Torah in it and gave it to his vicegerent, Yusha ibn Nun, known as Joshua. And when he died, his armor and some of the belongings were also put into it, as well as the relics belonging to Hazrat Harun. That chest, which had been known among the children of Israel as the Ark of the Covenant, remained in the hand of the very children of Israel as a sacred chest. And they used to carry it before their forces in the battles. Why? It will serve as tabarruk for them, bring blessings for them. But little by little, its sacredness wretched, and this chest was taken away. But according to the verse under the discussion of Surah Baqarah that I recited, the Prophet Samuel promised that the Ark of Covenant would be returned to them soon as a sign of the truthfulness of his statement, whom he has appointed as the ruler. That glad tiding naturally was considered very, and try and imagine this, you might have a hard time understanding this, but try and imagine this, that the value that the holy shrine of Imam Hussein والسلام, has for us. Now, if I was to tell you, or the holy shrine of Imam Rada والسلام, inshallah things get better and we can all go to ziyarat again. Imagine if you go for the ziyarat, and majority of you have gone for ziyarat. Someone tells you that I'll take you to underground beneath the graveyard where the actual grave is. Or someone tells you that I'll take you underneath the grave of Hazrat Qamar ibn Hashim, Hazrat Abul Fadl Abbas, and you'll see the water that is there. Or someone tells you that I'll take you underneath the apparent shrine or the zari of Imam Rada, where the actual grave is. The actual grave is not on top. It's actually underneath. Just imagine how lucky would you consider yourself that I get the opportunity to go ahead and visit the actual grave. Because up until this point, we've only been touching that external zari, the shrine, which itself has many benefits. But then there's this grave which is built inside. And then there's a grave which is underneath the actual one. Right? Imagine if someone says, I'll take you there. I'll show you all of those signs. How lucky will you consider yourself? I'll get you the water that is underneath the grave of Hazrat Abbas. I'll get you that khak-e-shifa, which is under the grave of Imam Hussein. How would you care for those things? What kind of value will you have for those things? Can you put a price tag on it? Now just imagine the glad tidings naturally were considered very magnificent for the children of Israel as well. Because by seeing the sacred chest, which they had heard a great deal of, which they knew as a token of their ancient independence and glory, they thought they could regain their lost tranquility and splendor. Finally, at the time of the kingship of Saul, Allah returned the sacred chest, which was taken away from them, unto them, through whom angels were carrying them. That chest was brought to them and brought tranquility and peace for them. So these are not our words, that when we visit the shrine of Imam, it brings peace to us and tranquility to us. It gives us comfort. When we kiss the shrine of Imam Hussein, Sayyid al-Shuhada, we feel that we are in paradise. This is Quran speaking. That wherein shall be a tranquility from your Lord and the relics of what the family of Moses, Musa والسلام, and Harun والسلام, left behind. Angels bearing it surely in it shall be the sign for you if you are truthful. Yes, this is where the condition lies. That only if you are truthful, you'll be able to then properly, thoroughly understand That's what truthfulness is lacking in this Wahhabi doctrine. They don't understand the importance of it. And it's their fault, and it's the fault of those who led them to this disbelief, this concept of bid'at. While Quran is speaking this way. You know, their rulers and leaders have gone to the extent by saying that if it wasn't for the uproar of the Muslim Ummah, we would have raised the grave of the Holy Prophet as well, which is inside Masjid-e-Nabawi. He said there's no room for the grave in the masjid. Masjid is a place of worship for Allah. What is the grave doing inside the masjid? These are the words of some of their fuqaha, some of their, muftis that have given fatwa that grave does not belong inside the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. House of Allah should be pure only for his worship, and there should not be anything other than that. Therefore, when you go there, if you're reading dua, I said, no dua allowed here. You can only read Quran here. You can't face the Holy Prophet. You must face towards the Qibla. If you turn towards the grave of the Holy Prophet and you start making dua, they'll turn you around. They might be relaxing it a little bit, but normally is the case that they turn you around and say, no, don't do that. It's bid'ah, it's haram, it's not allowed. Face toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the mentality that we're dealing with. Well, Quran is saying what? Quran is saying that the relics belonging to Musa and Harun that were lost, now being brought back by the angels, they'll serve as tranquility and peace and comfort for the Israelites. That's Quran, and that's Wahhabism. The Wahhabi desecrated the graves of Hujr ibn Adi, Prophet Yunus in Mosul. They destroyed the graveyard of Baqi and Mu'alla in the 1900s. If they reach Karbala, they will not think twice before destroying. In fact, the shrine of Imam Hussein has gone through some destruction in the past. The Wahhabis' belief is this, that a dead person is gone and you talk to your deceased. How can you talk to your deceased? You do tawassul by holding on to their shrines. It's shirk. It's bid'ah. They claim many other such things. Quran in reference to this says, this chest belonging to Hazrat Musa and Harun, in it you'll find tranquility from your Lord. Fihi sakinatum min rabbikum. Imagine just a chest which has the belongings of a Nabi can bring sakina, as the ayat of Quran says that I recited for you. Then what if in this chest lies a prophet himself, a Nabi himself, a Wali himself? Will that not bring peace and comfort to you? What's in it can bring peace and tranquility according to Quran. وَبَقِيَّةٌ مِمَّا تَرَكَ آلُ مُوسَى وَآلُ هَارُونَ. Then, because this chest reminds you of Hazrat Musa and Hazrat Harun, therefore, it's reminding us of someone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. According to their aqidah, it will be bid'at as well. So, dead, they're dead and they're no longer alive, and you should not do any tawassul to them. While Quran is saying these dead, not only themselves, but their relics can give you peace and tranquility. If a chest which is only carrying the remnants of the previous prophets can have such an effect, imagine what could it do if the actual prophet was in it. Moreover, if there were remnants of the Holy Prophet, who is the seal of all of the Anbiya, and then his vicegerent Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. It is so sacred that not ordinary people will be carrying it. It's so sacred that angels are bearing it. Just imagine. Allah says in Surah Nur, ayah number 36, Fi buyutin adina Allahu an turfa'a wa yuzkara fiha ismuhu wa yusabbihu lahu fiha bil ghuduwwi wal asal. In houses Allah has allowed to be raised and wherein his name is celebrated. He is glorified therein morning and evening. Pay attention to this ayat. I know I'm running short on my time. I'll try and conclude. Namaz is at 8:42, I believe. Inshallah, we'll try and conclude a few minutes early so that we can also have ziyarat. In the ziyarat al-jami'ah, which is a very important ziyarat, taught to us by Imam Ali Naqi, in which there's, ahwal of all of the imams. You know, when imams are addressed, we read ja'alakum fi buyutin adhina Allahu an turfa'a. That kalam is there in that. Therefore, the shrines of imams are amongst the manifestations of this verse. That the shrines of Masumin, where they're buried, are places in which the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed to be raised, and whereas the name of Allah is celebrated. Whose name are we celebrating when we visit the shrine of Imam Hussein, Imam Musa al-Kazim, Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, and then Samarra? Whose name are we chanting? Our fifth Imam says, Buyut, houses in this verse refers to the houses of the prophets and Imam. One of the Mufassirin, Ta'alabi, in his tafsir quotes that on that day when this ayat was revealed, Prophet was busy reciting this verse, reading this verse. First Caliph stood up and he asked, is this the house of Ali and Fatima meant by this? When the ayat of this Surah Nur 36 says, Fi buyutin, Abu Bakr asked, does that buyut include the houses of Ali and Fatima? Prophet responded by saying, it indeed does include them. So Prophet is, confirming this question of the first Caliph, that yes, those are the houses. Our seventh Imam says, when it says bil ghuduwwi wal asal, the means of timings of prayer, morning and evening prayers, in which Allah is glorified. In the language of Quran on many occasions, instead of salat, tasbih is used to convey the meaning of prayer. And that's what we do when we visit the shrines of Masumin. It brings us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Access to the guiding light of Allah is achieved through visiting His house, masjid, and then the houses of those who are awliya Allah. There's so much information, there's so much explanation that is there. So I gave you two ayat. One from Surah Baqarah that I recited for you initially in my speech, that talks about how one should, in ayat number 248 from Surah Baqarah, that it is the sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this chest was sent to Bani Israel. And second ayat that I recited is from Surah Nur, ayat number 36. The word biyut has appeared. Towards the end, I want to shed some light on the history of Baqi. Literally, the word al-Baqi means a tree garden. It is also known as Jannatul Baqi due to its sanctity, since it is, the place in which you will find the, many of the relatives of the Holy Prophet as well as the great companions are buried there. Yazid gathered people in masjid and narrated a false dream. He said the tree of Gharqad is crying and demanding, Ya li tharati Uthman. And then he charged up Muslim ibn Uqba, who was introduced to go ahead and attack Madinatul Munawwara. That all happened in the following years of Karbala, in the year 62, when he desecrated the city of Madinatul Munawwara. And then the following year, desecrates Makkatul Mukarramah in the name of that tree of Gharqad. The first companion buried in Al-Baqi was Uthman ibn Mad'un, one of the very important companions of the Holy Prophet, in the third year after Hijrah, on the third day of Sha'ban. Then Prophet's son Ibrahim, who died in his infancy and over whom Prophet wept bitterly, and he was also buried there. The site of the burial ground of Baqi was gradually extended. Nearly 7,000 companions of the Holy Prophet were buried there, 7,000. From Ahlul Bayt, we have our second Imam, Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba, our fourth Imam, Imam Zainul Abidin, our fifth Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, and our sixth Imam, Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, alayhimus salatu wassalam, are all buried there. Aqil ibn Abi Talib, Abdullah ibn Jafar al-Tayyar are also buried there. Amongst the relatives of the Holy Prophet, his aunts, Pupi, paternal aunts, Safiya and Atiqa, are also buried there. Amongst Prophet's aunts, Fatima binti Asad is also buried over there. The third caliph was buried outside of the boundary of Baqi, but then later on it was extended because they wanted to go out and extend the Baqi cemetery. his grave was also included into it. The first demolition and the destruction of Baqi, the Wahhabis believe that visiting these graves and the shrines of the prophets and imams or the saints was a form of idolatry and totally un-Islamic. Those who did not conform with their belief were killed and their property was confiscated. Since their first invasion of Iraq until nowadays, in fact, the Wahhabis, as well as other rulers of the Gulf states, have been carrying out massacres from which no Muslim who disagreed with them was spared. There are many who disagreed, but they were not spared. Obviously, the rest of the Islamic world viewed those graves with deep reverence. Had it not been so that the two caliphs that are buried next to the Holy Prophet, and they have expressed their desire to be buried next to the Holy Prophet, they would have raised the grave of the Holy Prophet as well. You know, our sixth Imam, Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi wasalam, he says in one of his traditions, إِذَا حَجَّ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيَخْتِمْ حَجَّهُ بِزِيَارَتِنَا لِأَنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ تَمَامِ الْحَجِّ. When any one of you performs Hajj, make sure that you conclude your Hajj with our ziyarat. فَإِنَّ لِأَنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ تَمَامِ الْحَجِّ. Because that is the completion of your Hajj. And that's why it's a custom that we either visit before or after the graves of Masumin. The one, you know, who goes to Hajj and does not perform the ziyarat of Imam, according to Imam, he says your Hajj is naqis. And when the Hajj is naqis, it is not going to reach that thamar, that you know, perfection for which you are performing. All that money that you've spent. There we need to understand why Imam is saying such a word. That you must perform our ziyarat in order for your Hajj to be tamam. One of the days we had the discussion of kamal and tamam. You might have done all of the steps of the Hajj, but until you do the ziyarat of Imam buried in Baqi, that is a condition there. And let's understand why Imam is saying. The first personality amongst the Ma'asumin that is buried there is Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salatu wasalam, for whom the Holy Prophet said, Man zara Hasanan kana haqqan alayya an azurahu. Whoever visits Hassan, my grandson, while he was alive, and even after his death, it is upon me, incumbent upon me, Prophet is saying this, that I shall visit them. Haqqan alayya an azurahu. Oh Hassan, anyone who comes for your ziyarat, I will go ahead and do their ziyarat. So just imagine, why wouldn't the ziyarat of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba be tamam of Hajj? Second shakhsiyat is Imam Zainul Abidin, Sahib Zabur Ali Muhammad, Injil Ahl Bayt, the individual who's known as Zinat of those who worship, Sayyid of those who prostrate. Third shakhsiyat is our fifth Imam, Imam Muhammad Baqir. Prophet about him says, Ismuhu ismi, wa shama'iluhu shama'ili. O Jabir, when you see him, convey my salam, that his name is my name, and all of his sifat are similar to mine. O Jabir, when you see him, make sure that you convey my salam to my grandson. So why won't visitation of Imam Baqir be a condition for the acceptance of your Hajj? And lastly, but not least, our sixth Imam who's buried there. What do you say about him, who's the founder and the Ra'is of Maktab-e Ja'fari? The word Ja'fari or Madhab-e Ja'fari is associated with our sixth Imam, although it's the same fiqh which is coming from the Holy Prophet. But because he revived it, he brought it back because people had forgotten about it. That's why you find, why won't Imam would be uttering such words, that visiting him and visiting other Imams that are buried over there to be the completion of your Hajj. I know I've run out of my time. I wanted to narrate a story, but inshallah at another time, of the importance of this khak, of the qabr of Ma'sumin. But that comes with true, pure Aqidah. Without this aqidah, you will not be able to attain that. We are also commemorating Majlis for the Jahannam of Marhuma, that amongst the graves that is unknown in Baqi is the grave of our mother, Bibi Fatmatul Zahra Salamullahi alayha. Some believe that she's buried in Jannatul Baqi, the grave which is associated with Fatma bint Asad, mother of Amirul Mu'mineen. Some say that is the grave of Bibi Fatmatul Zahra Salamullahi alayha. Some say no, she was buried in her house, therefore she's close to the grave of the Holy Prophet. In that vicinity, right behind the grave of the Prophet was her house, and therefore, it's near the shrine of the Holy Prophet. So any of those places could be the burial ground of that beloved lady of ours. How unfortunate it is that we don't know where her grave is. This is atrocity. That when Imam buried Bibi Fatmatul Zahra, he made sure that nobody knew where the grave was. That at that time, Imam's intention was because it was a fear that people will desecrate and do behurmati of the grave of Bibi Sayyidah. And so for forever, we don't know where that grave is. Only Imam of our time knows. But it is in that vicinity which carries such important personalities in our lives. Those ayyam of Bibi Fatmatul Zahra Salamullah alayha, that in which she said, so many masaib fell upon me that if they were to fall on days, they would convert into nights. The musibat after musibat, having lost her father, who's not an ordinary person, who's Khatimul Anbiya. And then what happens? Her house is burnt. The door is brought down. The baby in her womb is killed. And that broken ribs that are left behind when she was pressed between the wall and the door, Janab Sayyida is complaining correctly that Subbat alayya masa'ib. So many masa'ib fell upon me. And then on top of that, she has to witness how the people treated her husband, Abul Hasan, Amirul Mu'mineen, whom Prophet had declared to be Khalifatun bila fasl. How people challenged him. They did not care for him. And then how many stories were attached with that? But yet Amirul Mu'mineen remained silent. Janab Sayyidah, she was hurt by all of this. Not from that physical pain, but all of this mental torture. And even on top of that, when a lady wants to cry for her father, she's asked that, "Oh Ali, tell your wife to choose a time when she cries for Rasulullah." Janab Sayyidah responds by saying, "Oh Ali, tell these people that Sayyidah will not be with them for too long. Let me cry. Oh Ali, build a house for me in Baqi where I could sit and cry all day I want to." Ali did that. Baytul Huzn was built, and Janab Sayyidah sat there day and night. She cried and wept for the calamities that fell upon her. You just heard in Marsiya, आखिरी दो जुमले और आपकी ज़हमत तमाम, कि किस तरीके से जनाब सैयदा पे वो मुसीबतें आईं कि आखिर वक्त में जनाब सैयदा उस आलम में हैं। आयतुल्लाह वहीद कहते हैं कि क्या हालत रह गई थी जनाब सैयदा की, कितनी नहीफ हो गई थी जनाब सैयदा, कि किस कदर आपके ऊपर मुसीबतें पड़ी कि वो बच्चे जो कि माँ के बगैर खाना नहीं खाया करते थे। जनाब सैयदा ये वसीयत करके जाती हैं कि अस्मा, बात को याद रखना कि हसन और हुसैन जब आए तो उनको खाना खिला देना। बस ये वसीयत करके जनाब सैयदा अंदर चली गईं। एक दफ़ा हसनैन जब आते हैं, अस्मा ने खाना खिलाने की कोशिश की, कहा तुमने कभी देखा कि हमने अपनी माँ के बगैर खाना खाया हो? बस ये सुनना था। अस्मा ने कहा अब उनके बगैर खाना खाने की आदत करना पड़ेगी। अरे वो तुम्हारी मुशफिक माँ अब ना रही, इस दुनिया से गुजर गई। बस हसनैन का ये सुनना था। एक वावेला, एक कोहराम बपा हुआ। अमीरुल मोमिनीन आते हैं, जनाब सैयदा के किनारे बैठते हैं, आखिरी वसीयतें सुन चुके थे। एक दफा जनाब सैयदा की वसीयत के मुताबिक उनको कफन दिया। कफन से पहले जब गुस्ल दिया, अली चीखते हैं, अली ने गिरिया किया। अरे बाद में पूछने में बताया कि जनाब सैयदा का पहलू शिकस्ता था, किस तरीके से सैयदा ने इस दर्द को बर्दाश्त किया होगा। अजरुकुम अल्लाह, खुदा किसी गम में ना रुलाए सिवाय गम आले मोहम्मद के। बस वो वक्त आया, जनाब सैयदा का आखिरी वक्त था। अब जब तक तैयार हो गया जनाजा, अब एक दफा बुलाया बच्चों को, आओ बच्चों माँ से विदा कर लो। हसनैन में से हसन आते हैं, ज़ैनब और उम्मे कुलसूम में से उम्मे कुलसूम आती हैं, मगर ज़ैनब और हुसैन नहीं आते। एक रिवायत के मुताबिक सिर्फ हुसैन नहीं आते। कहा बेटा तुम क्यों नहीं आते? कहा जब तक के मादर गिरामी उस तरीके से ना बुलाएंगी जैसे हमेशा बुलाया करती थी, हुसैन ना आएगा। एक दफा कफन के बंद खुले, सैयदा के हाथ बुलंद हुए, हुसैन को तलब किया। हुसैन आगे माँ के कलेजे से लिपट गए। ये सिलसिला थोड़ी देर तक जारी रहा। जिब्राइल अमीन आते हैं, वही आती है कि अली हुसैन को दूर कर लो, अर्शे इलाही पे कोहराम बरपा है। अला लानतुल्लाह अलकौमिज़ ज़ालिमीन वसयअलमुल्लज़ीना ज़लमू अय्य मुनक़लिबिन यनक़लिबून इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि राजिऊन। I would request Brother Ghulam Haider to go ahead and recite the ziyarat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alayka ya warith Adam sifat Allah. Assalamu alayka ya warith Nuh nabiyillah. Assalamu alayka ya warith Ibrahim khalilillah. Assalamu alayka ya warith Musa kalimillah. Assalamu alayka ya warith Isa ruhillah. Assalamu alayka ya warith Muhammadin habibillah. السلام عليك يا وارث علي أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام ولي الله. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. ولعن الله أمة قتلتك ولعن الله أمة ظلمت ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة، لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من ملهمات ثيابها. وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين. وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الهادي المهدي. وأشهد أن الأئمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى وأعلام الهدى والعروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا. وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله أني بكم مؤمن وبيابكم موقن بشرائع ديني وخواتيم عملي. وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم واتبع. صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. زيارة علي بن الحسين. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن الحسين الشهيد. السلام عليك أيها الشهيد ابن الشهيد. السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. السلام عليكم يا أولياء الله وأحباءه. السلام عليكم يا أصفياء الله ووداه. السلام عليكم يا أنصار دين الله. السلام عليكم يا أنصار رسول الله. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليكم يا أنصار فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن بن علي الولي الناصح. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله. بأبي أنتم وأمي طبتم وطابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم وفزتم فوزا عظيما. فيا ليتني كنت معكم فأفوز معكم. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن السيد الوسيين. السلام عليك يا ابن أول القوم إسلاما وأقدمهم إيمانا وأقومهم بدين الله وأحوطهم على الإسلام. أشهد لقد نصحت لله ولرسوله ولأخيك فنعم الأخ المواسي. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمت، ولعن الله أمة استحلت منك المحارم وانتهكت حرمة الإسلام. فنعم الأخ الصابر المجاهد المحامي الناصر، والأخ الدافع عن أخيه المجيب إلى طاعة ربه، الراغب فيما زهد فيه غيره من الثواب الجزيل والثناء الجميل. والحق الله بدرجة آبائك في جنات النعيم. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء. السلام عليك يا معين الضعفاء والفقراء. السلام عليك يا مغيث الشيعة والزوار في يوم الجزاء. السلام عليك يا شمس الشموس وأنيس النفوس. السلام عليك أيها المدفون بأرض التوس. السلام عليك يا علي بن موسى الرضا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا صاحب الأسر والزمان. الأمان 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 من فتن الزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. السلام عليك يا مظهر الإيمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمام زماننا هذا، عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وسهولك وجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد.